Peekaboo. I may or may not have leftover meatloaf. Not leftover, seconds. Good. Meatloaf's good. But I didn't have onion on hand today, so this meatloaf will not have onion. This meatloaf does not have onion.
Okay, I'm just gonna wait for some staff to pour in here. I hope we have quorum. Let's see.
How many absentee ballots do you have?
I have 4, and I think we do have enough if I count the staff here. Yep, we have 5. We have and Frozen still in the. Yeah, we have 10, I think, so we're okay. All right, let's get this meeting started because I know some people just want to play poker. So, okay. First thing, we're going to need to spin the spinny wheel to figure out where this meeting's going to be. How do I stream again? I don't know.
Stream, you go to the window and you hit share your screen. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. There's the spinny wheel on the screen, I think. So I'm going to spin the wheel, and here we go. Oh, wait, no, hold on. And it's also on the Frimple TV stream. Okay. The wheel has chosen the slums of Atlantropa. Does anyone know where that is?
I'm looking on the MRT map right now.
This one does not have a coordinate, so yeah.
Atlantropa, no results.
Okay. Wiki, maybe?
Also no results.
Yeah, Stereo says that this may have been chosen at a previous GSM also, so maybe this is one of those.
Should we just re-roll?
Yeah, let's re-roll. Okay. Done.
Void.
I should probably remove that or ask the person who submitted that, because... Oh, really? Oh, really? Okay.
Oh.
Oh!
GSM
this
10.
brings back memories of, like, 2019.
Okay, that's
It's probably
oddly befitting. I'm there now. I mean, there's this, which is very well set up for it.
Jesus, this is unhinged. Okay, so GSM Town is the location. I'm just going to get ready for the rest of the meeting here. Oh, where are we going to build? Probably... You don't want to wreck all this.
Over here.
I mean, is it still community town?
It is still technically a community town, yeah.
How about the ocean over here?
Probably.
What's this?
I mean, this effectively evolved from the nothing. And then...
This was Chief's idea, blame Chief.
Actually, it might not be registered. It might be from before we registered community towns.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah, it's unregistered.
That'll be something to do then.
Alright, let's get this meeting started. We do not have any conductor applications or mod noms. We just have 2 community issues. I'm not sure how I'm going to start this. I have 4 absentee ballots. There's a bunch of different opinions that some staff members have already posted, so maybe I'll start with that for 5A. How am I going to do this? I'm going to try posting this in Meeting Live, I guess. Maybe read it out too.
By the way, I do have minutes.
Oh, thank you. Okay, that didn't go very well in the Minecraft, but okay. So DNA has posted. I'll start with DNA's opinion on 5A. Just to remind everyone, the topic is from Pro Call Me Junior. It is to change L level 2 warnings to disallow the promotion of town ranks, not just player ranks. So to remind everyone, level 2 warnings currently only if you have a level 2 warning or higher, it'll only prevent you from you having your player rank promoted, but if you have a town that's less than your player rank, then you can still promote them. So for an example, if you're a premier who has a level 2 warning or higher, at the moment you can promote smaller towns like a council or mayor town. What Pro is proposing here is to close that loophole in a way, and make things more fair in his opinion. So DNA has said, I don't want to cast for or against in this instance. I feel the topic would benefit from further discussion. I will not be present for. I'm happy to restrict city rank promotions for level 2 warn players, but looking at the overall discussion, I have to be looking at reviewing the entire warning system. In terms of being unfair, I'd like to raise the point that conductors technically receive a harsher punishment for warnings as of demotion. I don't know if this is necessarily a good or bad thing, but if we're going down the fairness route, it's just another difference I can think of. I'm hoping to be able to discuss the general warning system at GSM when I'm present, if it is brought up again. Skelly wrote a whole bunch. I'll see if I can post this here.
Is there like sort of a TLDR?
Okay, how about this? I'll post the text in Meeting Live. And then, okay, for Skelly's, I think I will try to summarize. Basically, Skelly has suggested that it's probably too much to make level 2 warning, to apply this to level 2, change level 2 warnings, but he does see some merit in changing level 4 warnings such that you cannot promote your town, any towns, because the original incident, I don't want to say incident, but the original thing that brought up that why Pro is submitting this is Echo got a level 4 warning, but he was able to promote Derby, which is like a council or made to mayor town, while still having that warning. And in Skelly's opinion, Skelly said that raised his eyebrow. So he's suggesting that, yeah, let's change up level 4 warnings so that you cannot do that anymore.
I'm actually in favor of doing it level 2 warning.
Okay.
Like if you look at the rules page under like what the warning levels mean, if you go to level 2 warnings, it's just you cannot be promoted to any higher ranks until the warnings expire. Mm-hmm. So that loophole is really obscure, and I think like even if we just, and so I think just for the sake of consistency, we should extend that to town ranks. And if we do not, I'm in favor of rewriting that bit of the rules to say specifically player ranks, not town ranks. But I think I'm in favor of, for simplicity's sake, extending it to towns.
Okay. Sounds good. Does anyone else want to comment? Well, right now.
I'm thinking of, in my head I'm going through things that are admittedly quite small, unlikely situations. Like somebody who would be getting a city promoted to senator, being relied upon for land area for a bigger governor airport or whatever else. Like, oh, suddenly they've got a warning and that it can't now. But I'm not I mean, more in favour of town ranks and player ranks being less intermingled, less reliant upon each other. Like being able to promote, say, a City 2 Premier while your personal rank is Senator, and ditto warnings. Like it's the promotion being on the player doesn't really doesn't mean it has to go onto the town and vice versa.
I think one argument I think why Pro is proposing this warning is right now, if you're a higher rank player, like say a senator, governor, or premier, and that person gets into level 2 warning, based on the current system that we have, it doesn't really do anything to that person. They effectively don't receive no punishment. Except for maybe, and I think I've seen this mentioned, the embarrassment of having a warning.
Yeah.
So I think what Pro is saying here is there should be at least something, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I will concede that it's, like, really niche, but I think just basically simplifying the language closing loophole and making practice and what's written policy just more consistent.
I'm just going to continue with Missa. Missa only wrote a little bit here. I understand the concern with some ranks being affected more than others with the current L2 rank sanctions, but I'm not sure if we need to make L2 itself more punitive. I'd be willing to consider Skelly's suggestion in the thread of re-examining L4 instead. And Ginty basically only said, no opinion, shrug. So there's that.
So if I can just weigh in like my 2 cents with it, so just looking at like a level 2, like that is a joke with marks and portlays, but usually if like it's a really bad one, like there will also be like more added onto because of like they will also like argue more about it, or it's like violations of the 300-500 block rule, and it's like, I mean, it is more punishment, but to like restrict like promotions, but I don't know what good it serves. And I think in general, I think it's a pretty good sign that the fact that like having a warning is like a thing where like, oh, this is kind of like frowned upon, and like it's kind of a shame, if you want to call it that, like to have a warning. And I think it's great that is enough in itself. And though I do think things can be adjusted a bit more, but that might be best like with the level 4 instead or whatever, but maybe add like a review of like the warnings, because I think people want to do that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my 2 cents.
Okay. The one thing I'll add there, I think the whole embarrassment factor for warnings depends on the person. Some people will get embarrassed by having that warning, and some people, especially ones that just keep getting warnings, they simply don't care. So I think it's just worth maybe mentioning that, like, it's not a universal thing, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, I won't lose more marbles if like we do implement something, but at the same time, like with the like it's really dependent on the person anyway, with like if they're not building cities, if they're just working on like transit projects or whatever, like that's not going to affect them either.
Yeah, that was mentioned. I think Solar's mentioned it. Like, yeah, if for people who don't even work on towns, this change will have no effect on them. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Though, of course, level 2 warning really didn't affect them to begin with.
Oh.
Yeah, I agree with M. Paulo. I think, like, embarrassing people is kind of a weird way to, like, put it.
Yeah, as somebody who's gone through elementary school with the main punishment being embarrassment, I would prefer that we did not use that as an intended punishment.
Yeah, it's not the intent of the warning system. To be very clear, the warning system is intended to try to let people know that this behavior is not allowed, and to hopefully try to correct that behavior. The correction is really meant. It's especially with level 4s. It's meant for the player to get to that, to do that work, which is why we require a reflection letter. But
yeah, to summarize it, it's more supposed to be like supposed to like be constructive rather than strictly punitive, and like embarrassing people is a little bit more on the punitive side for my liking.
Yeah, maybe like embarrassing is not the word, but kind of like where it's kind of a reflection, like, hey, it's just like I guess it's visible that I've done something that I shouldn't have done, and like it's not about like the being visible part, but just like, hey, I messed up and I do have some consequences, so I should not do this again.
Yeah, we're trying to get the person to reflect and understand that they've made a mistake, and not to do it again. Some people do get to that point, and some people don't. So that's how it is. Yeah, and yeah, please chill with the fireworks. I had to turn off my sound in Minecraft. Okay, so I will mention we don't have to make a decision about this today. We could because this does tie into, and it was mentioned a few times, like, we could just make this change, or we could just do a whole review of the greater warning system, like, since this does affect level 4s as well. The problem is that someone will have to do the work to propose a new system, or a series of changes. So, I don't know who that would be. I don't know if Pro would even be interested in that, because I think Pro is only interested in this specific change. So I'm just saying deferring is an option here if we want to go down that route.
Can spitballing things here. The reflection letters that people need for L4 and above. Obviously, we have a lot of people who never send those in, naming no names. I'm not sure whether this is a terrible idea or kind of, again, spitballing, but having that reflection letter be required to be unbanned, rather than to get the rank back.
Well, what do you mean by unbanned? I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you're like talking about like the temp ban on level 3 and above.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is the because is it 3 that requires a
no? So
yeah, it's 4 that requires.
It's 4. So
4.
To be very specific, level 3 gives you a 3-day temp ban. Level 4 gives you that 3-day temp ban, plus you need a reflection letter to rank back up.
So, yeah, 3 days seems very short for a reflection letter. For getting a reflection letter.
But right now they can only submit the reflection letter after when the warning is at least it quote unquote expired. So that would be for level 4 alone. That'd be about 2 months. So you have to wait that long anyway.
Yes, but then trying to reflect on something after 2 months, like, your memory is not going to hold on to the same detail as it did as it would for like 2 weeks.
I'm not sure if I completely agree with that, because I've seen people they sometimes need that time to 3 days is not as you said, not enough. Sometimes they do need like a month or 2 to like reflect on something like that. If especially if they don't agree with the warning in the first place, or their emotions are very charged, as we've seen with some, historically some warnings have been like that.
But so with the cooldown thingy, or like the warning period, like like a reflection letter wouldn't be accepted unless it was more than 2 months, right?
Correct.
So I could see like for some that might be needed to be like 2 months or longer, but people can always, I guess, just not send it in. But I do agree with the sentiment that like we do have quite a few people right now. I feel like that have not sent in a reflection letter or not in a long time, and I think it is important to like right now. Like I don't think it's serving its purpose. Like that they're just members, but they're just like not reflecting.
I think that's kind of expected regardless of the system, because you're always going to get some people who simply don't agree with the warning, or they simply leave the server. If you look at the members, you can see that there's a whole bunch of them from years past too. So, and that there's no expectation. Sometimes you get a rare case where someone does come back and then they do reflect and they do submit a reflection layer and then they do rank up, but that's rare. I think it's most of those are probably not going to come back and probably not going to do that, and there's not much we can do about it, right? Like that's the ball's in their court. Yeah. Like
Either way, I think this is just beyond what this particular proposal is asking.
If anything, if we are starting to discuss about these other aspects, then that might actually indicate that maybe we do need to look at the warning system as a whole. We need to review it again, but someone or some people need to actually go through it and propose something. Like they can if someone just goes and just proposes, okay, let's change this, and this, or that. That's at least a starting point, and then we can discuss that at a future GSM perhaps.
If there is an intent by people to like make a GSM proposal or like a community issue for like a broader thing, then I'm fine with deferring. But if if we don't have like people that want to do that, then I don't want to like defer this to the next GSM where we have the exact same talking points, if that makes sense.
Okay, that makes sense, Needham. So I guess let's ask, does anyone, either staff or members, at least people that are here, does anyone have any interest in writing up something like this or looking into it? That includes you, Pro, since you did at least submit this thing.
It doesn't have to be done by next GSM per se, but just that like the ball starts running and like we start having the conversation. Okay.
So some people didn't get. Okay, I'll repeat what I said. What Needham is saying is that we'd like to see someone or some people, or maybe multiple people, propose a wider review of the warning system, and that can be submitted at a future GSM as a topic. It doesn't necessarily have to happen at the next GSM, but somewhere at least get the ball rolling, at least get the discussion going on that, because it sounds. Oh yeah, go ahead, AP.
Sorry, I was just saying in the meeting channel, Frozen's saying wouldn't mind a review of current warnings and reviews at a later time. Wouldn't mind helping with that committee, just so it doesn't get lost.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm not listening. Okay, so Frozen, some interest in there. So what I'm basically asking is, anyone here that can be a member or can be a staff member, who is anyone here would like to lead that effort or would be interested in leading that effort?
I don't think I am right now.
That's totally fair. I'm not. I think I had some play when I worked on this original warning system, but I have no interest at the moment right now. That it seems it's a lot to me. It's a lot of work, and I don't. Yeah.
Pro's volunteered to potentially lead it.
Okay, so Frozen might look at it. Like it could be even, again, it could be as just simple as like one person submits, this is my idea of a new warning system. It's a bunch of changes, and then we can at least discuss and say which ones we like and which parts we like and which parts we don't.
So I hear that Frozen has said yes to that. Also, Pro has said that they would want to be involved with that, and also Power Miner has said in the chat that they would want to be involved with that, and so I think 3 people should be enough to kind of like get the discussion going, and then from that point it can like roll into like a proposal.
Okay, so either any of you 3, maybe feel free to make a discuss a new topic in the community issues channel, and yeah, maybe, or at least, or if you want, you can also submit an additional set of ideas that you might have in there. That world also works as well. Given that, though, regarding going back to Pro's specific change here, do we want to just say no to it for now until we have this discussion, like integrate this into whatever discussion happens there, or do we want to implement it now?
The issue with implementing it now is, unlikely as it is, somebody gets an L2 warning in the time between us deciding it and the warning system being completely revamped. It may end up being a slight inconsistency there.
I think Frozen brought up, like, what do we do about previous warnings? Like that'll be a question that'll have like be answered.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, I can see that might be a weird, like, how do you deal with that sort of thing, right?
Because if we're making that change, and then in a month or two's time we're making, dozens of other changes to the system, maybe completely changing the warning system in entirety. Well, yeah, I think we need to be very, very careful in communicating that.
Yeah, it is one more change we have to keep track of. So the simpler thing would be not to do this right now. And also, to be clear, whatever change is proposed, it could be just a few changes, or it could be a whole revamp. I'm not sure, but like, it could be anything along those lines. So.
But I agree with the sentiment that we don't need to like change this now, and I would like, I guess technically the term would just be like to say no to it, but kind of deferred to like the next time we have a discussion about this when the community topic is put into a proposal. Okay.
All right. So it's starting to sound like, unless anyone has any opinions, we're basically deferring this, but it's going to be, we'll defer this as part of the discussion. It might come back, it might not. It'll depend on how that discussion goes.
So yeah. Just so effectively, it's a no, but like not because we're against like the idea, but just like we're gonna put it into a different set of things.
Okay. All right. So this 5A will be deferred.
All right. Mind if I just share what I have in the minutes real quick?
Yep. Go for it.
I said deferred. This discussion led into wider talk about how rules and warnings are handled, and we weren't comfortable with taking a strong stance until wider reform is discussed. A committee led by Pro, Frozen, and I can't remember the third person.
Power Miner.
Power Miner, okay. We'll review the existing rules/warnings and potentially discuss changes at a future GSM. At an unspecified future GSM.
Yeah, it doesn't. No rush. To be very clear, you guys don't have to. It doesn't have to be next GSM. It could be 6 months from now, for all I care. So.
Yeah, but Frozen recommending actually setting a date, so we don't get a year down the line and go, oh crap, we forgot. His words, not mine.
I'll leave it up to the committee to figure that out. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so let's move on to the second topic of this GSM. In this, I guess, kind of similar vein, but EV 4014 has proposed a global 2. The original proposal was for a global 2 channel because, basically, if there are multiple conversations happening in the general chat, it can be kind of confusing to follow them. The example that Evie has put in is like there are like two casual discussions happening, and then there's also a world edit request screaming in the middle of it. So yeah, so having a second in-game channel is what's being proposed. It is similar to the chill channel that Alpha, if you recall, was part of that whole thing we did many months ago, but we decided not to add the chill channel because I think the argument was we already had a whole bunch of channels already and there wasn't seem to be much need for it. An addendum I added on here, it's just an idea that I've sort of been sitting on, is perhaps one way to clear out the world edit requests out of general is to move them to the conductors channel, which is currently just private to conductors, but if we open it up to the public, to everyone, then all world edit requests and all discussion about world edits can be in that channel. So it's a little bit easier than help hop because at least it'll be two-way communication rather than whatever else that people do nowadays. So that's a side idea. Yeah.
I'm a fan of the side idea. I'm not as much in favor of the main idea. Once again, I think we have too many channels, and I think with the side idea being implemented, it'll be even less useful.
The advantage with Help Hop is that it really stands out. Like as a staff member, Help Hop is unless we were to make the conductor channel like equally bright.
I think I'm pretty sure I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure we could make conductor channel. I guess specifically the player name. I think there is a way to at least make that to highlight that. So I think I can make conductor channel look kind of like Help Hop, or at least similar.
Yeah, for those who aren't familiar, Help Hop is like, I believe the player name is, I can't remember the exact details, but it's like the text is a different color and like it's bolded. It's meant to be like super easy.
To be really specific, Help Hop is like a dark red, and the player name is an orange. So
yeah, and that's it. Everything else is the same.
Yeah, it really kind of stands out, and it's fine.
Actually, it looks like owner chat. Anyway, sorry, never mind.
Generally, what I've seen happen a lot lately is people switching to local. People switching to local for world edit requests for when the conductor or staff member teleports over, because obviously local it's quasi-private. But then if a staff member sees it and sees there's having a bit of trouble there, they can jump in.
Mm-hmm. Does local make sense for if I can? Aren't there some world edits where you have to someone wants to copy paste over like a distance or something, like TP here, TP there, that sort of thing? With local starts might get a little less useful there.
True.
What's the range for local again?
I believe 500 blocks. Yeah, 500 radius. I think
it's a lot more than that.
I think it's all. Yeah,
I think it's more like 2,000.
It's like
1,000 blocks.
Yes.
Is it? I'm assuming it's whatever the default is.
Okay, I think no. I think no. Sorry, I think it is 1,000 blocks. What Neenan said. Yeah, so it's quite a lot. So, going back to the Global 2 channel, I have seen suggestions that instead of that, maybe you just put the chat in project channel, which is admittedly has not been used that much nowadays.
Yeah, I'm fine with people just taking over project channel, assuming something else isn't happening in there.
Yeah.
I guess asking EV does it or maybe I missed this. Is project channel do you find that to be an acceptable solution? And I'm asking others as well here.
EV says, quote, yeah, I wasn't super high on doing a chill channel anyway, just a passive suggestion, end quote.
Yeah, and I think they've also just answered my question. So they said, yeah, that would be a solution. So I don't know. Based on that, the person who submitted this topic is okay with not going ahead with Global 2 and chill and just using project channel. If that's what other people think is a good idea, we can go with that.
Yeah, because voice channels, it makes sense to have multiple generals. You know, multiple conversations can go on at once, and it's very difficult to follow multiple. It's very difficult to follow multiple conversations verbally, as opposed to by chats. But, you know, it's very possible, albeit not simple, but.
Going off what Alpha said, ML stuff should be in events anyway. I'm not sure why it would be in Project Channel, since it is an event.
In terms of concrete action out of this, though, I guess communicating to people that will edit things should be in Project, kind of communicating that in a way. I can't say if there's really a formal. If we can say a formal rule, you know, a level 1 warning because you did your world edit request in /events. It's not happening.
Hold on, I think there might be some confusion here. Are we saying that? So in EV's example, there's not just world edit. There's another casual conversation happening. So are we saying that other casual conversations can also go to project? That's my understanding, unless I'm mistaken here.
I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, once again, just to break off from.
Okay, so in that sense, AP, I think we should say that to be very specific, we should communicate that not just world edit requests, but other side conversations can go in project channel, and make that clear to people, so they know that they can use that channel. Yeah.
Okay. So it does sound like we're not going to go ahead with opening up the conductors to everyone. Conductor chat, I should say, to everyone, but just say everything in the project channel.
Okay. And regarding the side idea, we don't have to go with that. That's just, I don't know, just an idea I had. Go ahead, sir.
It just sounded like that was like a consensus, and I don't remember that being a consensus, but I just wanted to just clarify.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite difficult to say without the logs of like how much conductor chat gets used for, other than, well, I guess, you know, coordinating who's doing the world edits, which is its intent anyway.
As an admin who's seen the logs occasionally, and I've seen some people use it, but all I've seen it used for, and I think that was the intent of it, was for people to say, who has this world edit? I got it. Like, that's pretty much the extent of it.
Yeah, did anybody get da-da-da?
Yeah. I guess the question. I guess this is more mostly for members and conductors as too. Like, do you find the current scheme, the current setup that we have, is that good enough for you getting world edit requests and be able to communicate? Like things like help up. You could, using local channel. Is that good enough for you? Do you see any need for this for opening up conductor channel, or even would you even use it? Right. That's my question to everyone here.
I think local is better served for the purpose.
Okay, I know I'm seeing Bobby Awesome seems fine. No problems.
Because the advantage of local is that it doesn't bother everyone else.
True, yeah. Just would be more helpful if people use help up more often. Sure, okay.
Agreed. Definitely people should use help up. Help up is a great command. It is probably the best way of getting our attention for something that's like not like super serious, like griefing or something.
Hut says it could bother someone nearby. Have we ever seen a complaint about that though? Like, oh no, my neighbors are yelling about world. Like,
I mean, with the 300, 500 rule, it doesn't really seem.
Again, keep in mind the radius is 1,000 blocks, so that's, you know.
I mean, yeah, but that still limits the amount of people that would realistically be in the area.
Ian says, "No, I love spying on other mayors' world-led behavior." Okay, all right, I see how this is. All right. Okay, I'm getting the sense that it's not a problem, so I guess this change is trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist, or at least in that sense. So, yeah, let's. We don't have to go with that side idea then.
So it sounds like we're just going to do nothing, this GSM?
Well, we didn't do nothing. We at least for 5A, we at least have discussions going to happen. But at least for 5B, at least we discussed this too. But in the end we decided nope, we're not going to do this. Or at least no. I correct that. Specifically, we are going to communicate that people can use Project Channel. That is something we are. I guess we're not changing the rules, but at least we're saying that, and so people know to use it. Okay, is that all? I think any other things we might have missed here?
I
mean,
think this gets the reward for least actioned GSM in history.
I'm pretty sure that we've had ISMs where nothing happened. Yeah.
Yes, but they're ISMs.
Okay.
Do you count the cancelled GSM?
Yeah, that technically nothing happened there. Yeah.
For what I have for 5B in the minutes, just so the documentation's on the same page. Denied. As a remedy, we suggest people move into the project channel if they want to break away from global, even for casual discussions. As for front side proposal, we urge people to use help up to get attention for world edits and use local to coordinate operations. TLDR, no concrete action will be taken.
Sounds good. All right. I guess that's the end of the community issues. I don't know if anyone has any announcements or wants to do. I guess we can do a Q&A here. Elite's not here, so we don't have to do the goddamn trustee meeting notes. I hope. He's not here, is he? Okay, good. Okay, yeah. So yeah, we're in the Q&A portion. If there's anyone has anything that they want to bring up, this is the time to do it. Otherwise, this GSM is going to be done. Going once, going twice. Oh, Bobby says wait. Okay, Bobby's typing something, so we all gotta wait, everyone.
Sausage. Even though I just ate, basically.
But yeah, poker is happening right after this. I'll organize and all that stuff.
I probably won't play, but I will play you for and be in chat.
I lost the game.
Bobby.
And so did you.
Okay, Bobby asks, are there going to be any changes to the conductor application system? I feel that there are plenty of conductors and there are more getting added every month. Is this referring to having too many conductors? Because I think that's been a common theme from previous GSMs.
Well, at the very least, there are no conductors added this month.
Correct, yeah. At the moment, there are no plans to change the conductor system. I think there's debate about whether we have too many conductors. There has been debate of whether there are too many conductors or not. Some people, and I think I'm in kind of this camp too. Like some people think that it doesn't really matter if there are too many conductors. We end up, but again, I can see some. Yeah. I don't know. That's a whole can of worms. I don't know if we want to discuss that right now. I guess Bobby. I guess my question is to you: do you feel like there should be changes to the conductor system, or is that something maybe you'd propose in a future GSM or something? Maybe. Activity requirements. What about the activity requirements? Is there something wrong with them, or something you want changed there? Yeah, there is basically 10-hour minimum for that. So I have seen some ideas of increasing it to like increasing the 10 to 20 or something, 20 hours or something like that. 3 inactive months to 2. Oh, you want to make it harsher HVT? Is that correct? I don't know. Or making 3 months of red to 2 months. Okay. So Bobby, I think that would be a community issue on its own. I think you need to submit that make a thread in the community issues channel and propose make a proposal and then see what other people think. Not for this GSM. But I think, yeah, but as people are saying, the reason why it's like 3 months is some people do have like school. So we want to at least give them a little bit of time to do that sort of thing. Obviously, it's not going to be indefinite, but 3 months is what was decided. So just so you know, that was, I guess, kind of the reasoning for that. PTLD, to answer your question, 5A, this change will be deferred. Effectively, nothing will change there, but there will be this new community issue or some sort of discussion in that channel led by a few people on a much wider or greater review of the warning system as a total. So that's the action for that one. And then for 5B, the action is we're not going to add a new channel, but we're going to communicate to people that if they want to have any sort of side casual conversations or world edit requests, they can use the project channel for that if they feel like the general chat's getting too much. Okay, I'm seeing no other things, so I think we can bring this meeting to a close. Goodbye.